Fucking going. We going live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another fantastic and whimsical episode. This is actually the 72nd episode. That's over 72 hours of us on YouTube. That's right. You can go back and watch it from day one if you wanted to, if you had that much time. I don't know why you would. But we're here.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? It'd be great.
Your favorite nerdy podcast, being Comic X.
Weeb!
I am your co-host, James, a.k.a. Comics for Cheap, a.k.a. hashtag Send It to James, a.k.a. Put It Through the Goddamn Uprights. And I got my co-host here with me.
It's your boy, Chris, a.k.a. Come on, Dino, hit me with the music. Black Santa, a.k.a. Slap Ass, a.k.a. Super Cold. What? Water. Sponsored by nobody. Still unsullied to this day. We don't got no dang gosh diggity darn sponsors. But again, they are coming soon.
Ain't nobody pulling our strings.
A little longer than planned, but they'll be here soon.
What's going on, everybody? This is where we talk about everything pop culture, but especially comic books, movies, and anime, with some sports talk mixed in at the beginning. And that's how we're going to kick it off today, because we had some shenanigans go down this week that we were just talking about before we jumped on live with the NFL that was just absolutely mind-blowing and mind-boggling at the same time.
Yes.
Chris, which one do you want to talk about first?
I think we need to we got to talk about the biggest comeback in NFL history. How in the hell do you have a 33-0 halftime lead? 33-0. And the entire second half, you only score a field goal and you lose in overtime.
You know what?
There's a reason why that's the biggest comeback in NFL history. Because that seemed to be impossible for that to happen. So I guess we got to say, Jeff Saturday ain't going to be coaching next year, right? He ain't coming back.
No, Jeff Saturday is all good.
Diggity darn. How does that happen? And you
I
look
don't know,
at the
man.
game, and literally, the Colts obviously had so many times to make sure that don't happen. It literally was to the end for them to go into overtime, and then they still got the ball back multiple times in overtime and still blew it.
Oh, Lord. Vinyl Dragon, what's going on? He says, bro, it's time for that fan of grape and a bag full of Walmart crispy wings with the hot sauce. That's right.
Sound good, brother. You eating good, bro.
That sounds like I need to be doing this podcast from his house. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying, bro. Shoot, next time we coming over there, bro.
Yeah, we're about to crash Vinyl Dragon's pad. My goodness.
For real, bro.
So Jeff Saturday. So the announcers have officially turned on this man. Like hard. They are talking so much trash about him now that he is like, at first they were like, oh wow, he won the first game. You know, all of us were like, oh my god, this would be amazing if he just like won like everything. But an experienced coach would have known 33-0 halftime lead. Let's pull Matt Ryan out of the game. That's it. I don't know. I'm just, a little suspicious that something is going to happen. I'll be like, you know what, Matt Ryan? You did a good job. But how about we put in our backup quarterback now? Just to, I don't want to be played off like, I don't want you to get hurt. But in reality, I'm like, I don't want you to blow this lead.
It's all about control. How do you not control that game better? I'm sorry. Definitely when you watch that game. Hell, oh boy, Kirk Cousins, everybody's cousin, he threw interceptions too. He threw one of the worst interceptions I've seen when he just threw that shit up. And then the defender was just like, oh, thanks. Cool. All right, awesome. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Like, so many opportunities.
Right.
And what you were saying before we, behind the scene and everything, Matt Ryan, multiple situations where like multiple records of just embarrassment.
unfortunately for Matt Ryan, he holds, I think it's like 4. He's on the losing side of like the 4 biggest comebacks. So he's on the losing side of the biggest regular season comeback. He's on the losing side of the biggest Super Bowl comeback. He's on the losing side of the biggest international comeback. And he's on there was another one. I can't remember what the other one was, but he's on the losing side of that shit too. And I'm like, Matt Ryan, I don't know how to tell you this, bro, but maybe you should hang up the cleats and go. You said, what did you say?
He's a substitute. You can go back and be a substitute teacher again. You can't tell me Matt Ryan don't look like your substitute teacher. You cannot. No one can tell me Matt Ryan does not look like a substitute teacher. When you see Matt Ryan and legit just look at him, you don't see NFL player. You see that dude was teaching my math class, my substitute math teacher. Maybe even my substitute history teacher, so he can teach everybody on what not to do. And he's maybe he don't even know how to do that, but he can at least do something. This is embarrassing. Yeah. This dude is washed. Like he's kind of. There was a reason why he got benched before Just Saturday came around. The dude was washed. And what did Just Saturday do? Nah, we gonna throw it back out there. He's our star quarterback again.
Yeah, franchise player, franchise QB.
But that also shows the same thing I was talking about when he first got the job. He shouldn't have got the job. He should not be a head coach. The man never coached anything outside of like Pee-wee football. I mean, you coach children. You never coached in college. You never coached in the pros, obviously. He was offered multiple times to be on a coaching staff for the coach to learn some stuff. He always said no. But then, of course, they offered him the head coach job. He's like, yeah, don't get me wrong. I would have took it too.
I know, that's what we said.
That don't mean I'm qualified to do it.
We would have been like, this is the easiest bag grab of all time.
It damn sure would have been. Because I'm telling you right here now, it ain't no joke. I'm hiring Dino to be my assistant coach. And we going to get some money. And then we going to get fired. But we going to get some damn money. And if we get lucky, we going to do a good job and win some games. Who knows? But the end goal, we going to get some money.
That's what Jeff Saturday's doing right now. He don't even care what the press say about him. He's just like, I'm just getting the money, bro. I don't know. Rob, what's going on, Rob? He says the offensive and defensive coordinators deserve to be canned along with Saturday. A loss like that can't just be pinned on one guy. Yeah, I agree. I mean, obviously, we say, oh, Matt Ryan blew his lead. Obviously, it's not just Matt Ryan. The defense, should have stepped up too. But yeah, the play calling was atrocious. The decision making, it was just a whole bag of shenanigans, and then rolled up, and then it was like the perfect storm of just bullshit. And Matt Ryan just happens to be on the fucking unlucky side every single time that shit happens, bro. It's just hilarious. Yeah, he needs to. Matt Ryan.
He had to be just sitting there in that locker room after the game, just staring at the wall, zoned out, like this can't keep happening. Why does this keep happening? Is there really a God? Like this dude having like a philosophical moment, just sitting there, like.
Matt Ryan back to the local park flag football. I was saying that Matt Ryan needs to like start a clinic for 8 to 10-year-olds, and just that's where he needs to do. That's what he needs to do. Whether it's in Atlanta, well, they probably don't respect him in Atlanta, but maybe in Indianapolis, I don't know. Just wherever he want to do it, just set up the little football camp, and that's where you make your money. You just run like 2 camps a summer.
I ain't gonna front. If I was an Atlanta Falcon fan, especially if I lived in Atlanta or I was, again, just a Falcon fan in general, I probably could never forgive Matt Ryan or anybody on that team that blew that game. I'm sorry. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And again, it's not all on him, but no, I just could never forgive him. That was our Super Bowl, and you just said no. And it was so dumb, too. That game, they literally were just passing the ball for like no fucking reason. It was like they was trying to make Matt Ryan put up weird numbers. It was a weird game. That game
just run the fucking ball. If you're up 28-3, if you're up 33-0, just run the fucking ball. Just run clock. Who gives a shit? And let you whatever. A little pitch play, a little fucking run, sweep, whatever. A little screen pass if you want to pass it. Just fucking no crossing routes, no deep shots. You don't got to do none of that. You're already up 33-0. It just I don't know. I'm telling you, me and you could sit down and just fucking call the whole game. We could have won that fucking game, Chris.
I know. We would have won that one.
God damn. This is ridiculous.
I'm gonna call Jim Erson, man. We gotta get us an interview.
Call up Saturday and be like, look, bro, you're about to be replaced by Black Santa and Comics for Cheap. I'm telling you.
That's right.
Be like,
right. It's time. It's time.
Oh Lord. But we also have to talk about, because this is also ridiculous, we got to talk about kickers, because I cannot stand this shit. I can't stand this shit. This man on the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, takes him downfield, calls timeout, 12 seconds or whatever left on the clock. He only got to kick like a 30-something yard field goal, and he shanks it. It's like, bro, this is my gripe with kickers, okay? There's so many rules in the NFL that protect you as a kicker. It's like you can't touch them. Unless you touch the ball, you can't touch them.
No.
Period. So they're protected. So once you land a slot in a kicking position, it's yours for as long as you don't fuck it up, basically. Like, you are one of 32 people who has the easiest fucking job, making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, to kick a ball 4 or 5 times a Sunday. And that's it. That's your fucking job. And I'm sitting here like, if that's all it took, all you got to do is show up to practice, kick a couple field goals. All right, boys, that's good practice, good hustle. Maybe do a little couple squats.
Here and there and get out there.
Slap ass, do some squats, couple leg lifts, whatever, leg extensions, some leg curls. That's it. Just keep your legs strong. All right. Man, that was a good physical workout right there. I'll see you guys in the locker room. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. And then this man comes out here and misses the game-winning field goal, and he's missed 5 this season. Like, how you even let him get the 5? I say, like, you missed 1, all right, you missed 1. All right, you missed 2, all right, it happens, whatever. You missed 3, all right, you're benched. You're done. That's it. It's over. It's you. Fucking, there are too many people out there that
I agree with you, but I will at least say this: it does depend on the 3, because sometimes your coach could put you in a situation where you're kicking like 50-something yard field goals in crazy weather. Yeah. So, obviously, you're more than likely you're going to miss those.
If it's something like that, is a little bit.
Yeah, but the 31 yards shit, yeah, I agree with you 100%. You missing 3 of those, we going to find a new kicker.
Yes. That's all I'm saying. I don't know if you wanted to talk about any other game, but that's really all I had.
Unfortunately, we did talk about enough of the Patriots one. It's up to you if you want to bring that one back up.
We'll bring it up just because I'm still mad. Still mad about my fantasy football.
Tell the audience, Dino. Tell the audience about it.
All right, I'll tell it. So it was, fantasy football. People get it really into fantasy football. I really don't get too into it. It's just like I'm sitting there. My opponent happens to have Derek Carr on his team, and I'm watching this final touchdown pass that's definitely not a touchdown. They even went the next day and said, yeah, that wasn't a touchdown. Because they had additional footage or pictures or whatever of his foot clearly out of bounds. But that's neither here nor there. All I'm saying is that I lost by 0.2 of a point because this dude got 6 points for a touchdown pass that should not have been a touchdown. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
And that is ridiculous. And unfortunately, they ain't taking that back. So it's going to count as a touchdown, even though, again, like you said, it wasn't a touchdown. So that does suck. And I just got to say, man, Bill Belichick is probably out there. Oh, my God. He is screaming at that. Oh, boy, I would not want to be in that locker room. Definitely those knuckleheads who threw that game away. What we got?
Rob says, mathematically, it is pretty damn hard to lose a game if you take the play clock down to 0 and try to run a screen route for 3 yards every possession. That's what I'm saying. Just run the clock out. If you're up by that much, you're going to force them to use timeouts. You don't have to use your timeouts. Just rely on your defense to slow them. You don't have to make a stop. Just slow them down.
Yeah,
honestly, no pass interference. Don't worry about that. Right. Just slow them down.
Don't do stupid things. Yeah.
Yes, and that would have taken care of it. But yeah, Bill Belichick probably shot 3 people in that locker room.
100%, man. Because and then you see, and then at the end of the game, where these idiots, instead of just going into overtime, just lay down, be smart. Mm-hmm. The play was literally. Get the ball, go straight down. That's it. We're ending it. We're gonna go on time. No big deal. Instead, my man throws the ball back. And then the other idiot decides to throw the ball to Matt Jones. He was trying to get into Matt Jones, which I'm sitting there like, what is that going to do? Matt Jones ain't running out. He ain't outrunning anybody. He ain't running nothing. And then it's like, do you think he's somehow behind the line of scrimmage so he can get the ball and somehow throw it up front and then y'all get a miracle touchdown? Like, that's not happening. You can't even do that crap in Madden, let alone seeing that crap happen in real life. I mean, bro, it was just like, y'all should be fired. Like, that was just the dumbest things I've ever heard. I was trying to get the match up. Why? Why? Even if you did, you don't think them linebackers are back there just going to eat this dude alive? He ain't going nowhere. He ain't even going to get a chance to throw the ball. No one's blocking anymore.
Yeah, no one was there. It was just him against two defensive linebackers. Can you imagine if Mac Jones did catch it and they fucking lit him up? Oh my god.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. Mac Jones.
My god.
I think Cam called him mac and cheese. Oh, he would have been cheese, all right. They would have melted that fool soon as he touched that ball. They would have ate him alive. They would be eating some mac and cheese. I'm like, bro, this is the dumbest. I mean it. If I was Bill and I hear this dude talking about I was trying to get to Matt Jones, bro, you've been released. Like, son, get your stuff, go home. You're been released. You don't even need to be on this team anymore.
Evan, what's going on?
Good Lord.
Evan says the stiff arm at the end was a cherry on top. That stiff arm, I was like, oh my god. That was one of those, like, you know, in your basketball, like a pickup game or whatever. It was like, woo! Yeah, that's the exact same shit that I did in my living room watching that shit. I was like, woo! I was like, he just got put down.
Yo.
That whole play, I was just like, this is the stupidest shit I've ever seen. Bill Belichick's probably going to shoot the whole fucking team, and that's going to be it. Bill Belichick, I couldn't even believe he went over to shake hands or not. I figured that it was just going to start right there. He's going to get out like the police nightstick and start beating people in the face or something.
Yo, I would have been screaming at those fools while I was going up there to shake hands. I would have stopped, shook hands, and then went back to screaming at those fools. I would have told them, y'all need to come with me. Like I'm their dad or something, and they did something bad, and they just following behind me while I'm yelling at them. I'll be like, y'all come with me. Come on.
Nah, y'all all sit down on these benches. We're going to talk about this shit right here.
We're going to talk about it when I get back.
Make him sit in timeout. Nah, you don't deserve to go to the locker room. He's sitting in timeout right here on these benches.
Sitting in timeout. Yo, this was the worst practice those boys ever been through. Like, oh my god.
Oh yeah. I'm sure they've been sweating. They've probably been running suicides and all sorts of crazy shit all fucking day the last 2 days. Oh my goodness. That is ridiculous. All right.
And then of course, that's it. We should be good, right?
That's it. Okay. All right. That's it. So let's move
Unless
on.
You want to talk about the Cowboys. But we got a lot to get to.
We can talk about the Cowboys and how they lost to a dude who looks like a hippie who goes, striding down the beach every Saturday afternoon, handing out flowers, barefoot with jeans. Barefoot with jeans and no shirt. That's what Trevor Lawrence seems like to me. If Trevor Lawrence was a vibe, that's the vibe that he gives off. Barefoot, jeans.
He does.
And not just like jeans, but like jeans that are a little too tight. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, bro, why are you wearing these tight ass jeans?
Like, Jesus Christ, you're basically
like, come on, bro. Like, what are you doing with this?
Like, seriously, your balls are dying, bro. You got nothing, bro. What the fuck? But no, this is like, it's the thing of Dak Prescott. That's what and who he is. He will always find a way to blow games that you would say you should win these games. Mm-hmm. Like, again, Trevor Lawson actually didn't play necessarily terrible. The Cowboys defense, which honestly is their bread and butter in the grand scheme of things, even though Zach don't want to believe that, it is their defense at this point. The defense didn't play perfect and didn't play that great, but they're going to have games like this. And these are the games where Zach is supposed to step up. He's never stepped up the entire time I've seen him, I've never thought and saw a game where I could truly say he's legitimately stepped up, because he's always done this. A lot of his biggest games, numbers-wise, come in losses. And it's basically garbage time numbers. Yeah. They look amazing, but it's basically the game was already over. And he put up these unbelievable numbers. He's never had a game where I've said, you know what? Zach's that dude. Dak's that dude. No, he's not. He's that dude that's going to lose that game for you. And he's going to be the reason why when the playoffs get going, the Cowboys are going to do what the Cowboys always do, and they're going to lose embarrassingly in the playoffs from something that Zach done. Like,
Bring back Cooper, baby.
Bring back Coop.
Bring back Coop. Bring him back.
Hashtag bring back Coop.
Hashtag bring back Coop. All right. All right, we'll move on.
Like, seriously, like, you paying this money for nothing. It's a damn shame.
Oh, I'm saying him and fucking Deshaun Watson, who can't even get the ball. Speaking of Cooper, can't even fucking throw the ball at Cooper, your best fucking receiver. He don't even know how to do it. I don't know. I can't. That's what I'm saying. Bring back Brissett and bring back Cooper, and that's what we gotta do. Just start these hashtags.
I gotta stick to this one at least. I'm sorry. You paying Deshaun way too much damn money. I'm sorry. His ass gonna be out there.
Not for the first year.
Oh yeah, you're right. Because of his suspension and what happened. Yeah, because of that first year. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, not for the first year. You know, Brissett sitting on the sideline like, I win this game better.
You're right. That's true.
He's sitting there like, I would definitely play better. Watson's playing right now. Shit. All right, we got to talk about some DC stuff.
Woo, there's a lot.
There's a lot of DC to talk about. So James Gunn, has come in, and we talked about how he is sharing basically the Kevin Feige role of the DC universe, cinematic universe, and he has decided to just press a hard reset button. Basically, we're gonna take everything from the top. And we're gonna wipe everything, and we're gonna start again. We're gonna lay out a brand new universe. We're gonna that's how it's gonna be. So DC just started canceling everything. We knew they were canceling shows. They canceled movies. I think they canceled the fucking Wonder Woman. The next
Wonder Woman 3 has been canceled.
Aquaman 2. Flash is still somehow untouched. I don't know what's going on there.
Makes no fucking sense to me.
I'm sure he wants to cancel it, and Warner Brothers is probably like, we need the money. So I think that's what's going on there. I don't know for sure, but I would guess that they sunk enough money into a finished product that they're like, we gotta release it.
Because considering the moves that he's doing, it actually makes no sense that this movie's coming out.
Yeah, it really don't. We've said that before, but
yeah.
So he's canceled Wonder Woman. He canceled Aquaman. He canceled a Batman Beyond movie, which was
I didn't even know about that. So what, they was actually officially making the Batman Beyond movie?
Yeah,
I just heard rumors of it, but I didn't know they was actually legitimately going to do it.
Yep. So that's what that kind of came out after the fact of hey, what's up, Captain Comics? Captain Comics is in the house. What's going on? Basically. It came out after it was canceled. So the Michael Keaton project canceled, and they were like, "Oh yeah," and it was Batman Beyond. So people are mad right now.
I'm one of them.
Mad at DC. Oh, and then they went ahead and canceled any Superman. So they just said, Henry Cavill, you have been released from your duties as Superman. That was probably the biggest one that people were upset about.
That's the one that people are mainly upset about. And me too, in the sense of, I understand. Now, I'm not foolish enough not to get what he's doing. I get what he's doing. You're going with a younger Superman. You're going with a younger It's basically, in a way, like the New 52. It's basically like that. You're going with these younger versions of these guys. So I kind of get that. But the issue I have with it is that Henry Cavill, he was the one that all of us wanted back. When he came back, everybody was excited. This was legitimately probably the first time DC's really had some good news going on in their cinematic universe. When he came back, everybody was excited. It was like sometimes I feel like you gotta read the room to the fact that The Rock is beloved. But when he even mentioned of being another Superman, they booed his ass off stage. They was booing this man. And obviously he had his ideas of what's really going on behind the scenes, but still, just to mention. So you would read the room and think, all right, this guy everybody really wants. We got to figure something out. Instead, it's like, nope, he's gone. Okay.
All right. I think what could have probably made this all better is if instead of being cryptic and mysterious in the beginning, if James Gunn, like as soon as he got the job, he was like, all right, we're starting over. Yes. Period. And then I think people would have, I don't know, they still probably would be mad. Whatever. Whatever. But I don't think they would be as mad as like them kind of like announcing here and there, oh, this is canceled. And then a couple days later, oh, this is canceled. And then a couple days later, oh, you're fired type of thing. Does that make sense?
No, it makes perfect sense. Before I say what Rob got going on.
Rob says, how funny is it to see The Rock tweeting multiple times trying to convince everyone that Black Adam was a financial success? We're going to talk about The Rock and we're going to talk about Black Adam.
We're definitely going to get to The Rock because we got stuff on him for sure. But no, that makes perfect sense what you said. Perfect sense. But
because I made a statement on Instagram and I was just like, look, like it was after the Henry Cavill stuff came out, so he was mad. So basically, everyone was like, "Oh, you left The Witcher just for Superman, and now that's canned." I'm like, first of all, he left The Witcher because he wasn't happy with the writer. We talked about that.
That's
it wasn't 100% just for Superman, but I'm sure that played a part. But it does suck. But guess what? That dude's got offered. I think he signed the offer the fucking same day. Like he already got. Dude's gonna be fine. He's got offers.
Oh, he's 100% fine. He's a good actor, and he's a hot commodity right now. So no, he's gonna be good. He's good.
Let's not sit here and be like sorry for him.
Sorry for him in that aspect. He lost. He left The Witcher, and then look what happened with Superman. Oh God, no, he's okay.
Man's gonna get work. So I like Henry Cavill. I was not a big fan of The Witcher. Yep. Man of Steel was super dope, but Man of Steel is really the only fucking good movie that we've had Superman in so far. I wasn't a huge fan of Batman vs Superman. I don't think many people were. Financially, it was quite a success, but it wasn't that great of a movie. And then the other one that he was in, the Justice League, whether Snyder cut or not, either one I wasn't thrilled with personally. I know some people liked the Snyder cut Justice League.
People loved the Snyder one. People loved that one though.
Whatever. Other than that, all he's done is cameos. So it's not like has this like huge 5-movie legacy that people were like, oh my fucking God. In one decade, this dude's done one Superman movie and a couple shared movies.
Yeah, because that's
how I look at it.
Man of Steel came out in fucking 2013. Like you said, a decade. Like it came out in 2013. But see, that's the issue. Everything you said is spot on. But the one thing, especially when you brought the cameo part, the biggest issue I had, now I don't know the time frame of when James Gunn got this position and when they decided to do the part with Black Adam at the end of that movie. Right. But if that was the case, he shouldn't have been in. Henry Cavill should have not been at the end of Black Adam.
I don't think timing-wise it did line up. I don't think it lined up.
Yeah, I don't think it lined up. But I'm just saying, because of all this, that made people so happy, and that was a great way to show that he's back. And then all of a sudden, now it's like, no, he's gone. Oh,
reportedly, he was paid like $500,000 for that cameo,
just to show up for like a few seconds,
bro.
Excellent.
And people are like, oh, I can't believe, like, how you doing so dirty, bro. You know how long I could live with $500,000? Jesus Christ, that's fucking.
Who ridiculous. You telling? He's eating good. He's eating good tonight.
Shit. Yeah, for real. But I mean, I understand it. So when I posted this thing where I was like, you know what, like I kind of leaned into it. I was like, good, fucking start everything over. Trash Aquaman, trash Wonder Woman, trash Batman Beyond, because honestly, if they came out with the same shit that they were doing, and they made these projects and they were just as garbage, right? Then people are going to be just as mad as their, I call it the fake outrage, because it really was a lot of fake outrage. But they would be just as mad about, DC and Warner Brothers as they would have been, if as right now that they're canceled. You're telling me that like if we had gotten whatever, let's say Batman Beyond, because that's probably one of the ones that's the most like beloved and we want to see it on the big screen. I'm right there with you. I fucking love the animated cartoon. I would really love to see a Batman Beyond movie. That I feel like that would be fantastic.
Yeah,
but
I love Terry McGinnis.
I don't want a shitty Batman Beyond.
Terry McGinnis. This is might be a sin to some. I actually like Terry McGinnis more than Bruce.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. So how would you feel if they came out and it was, the same quality as the last couple of DC movies where we got, Aquaman or Wonder Woman 2, Justice League, Black Adam even?
I will say this, and I want to make sure I clarify too. I'm not saying Terry McGinnis is better than Bruce. This is coming from a guy who has read everything Batman, so I know a lot about Bruce. This ain't me just saying, no. I just like Terry McGinnis more than Bruce, but we can get into that another time. But to answer your question specifically, I would be upset, and I agree with you. It is a good move to cancel this because one, the way the DC and don't get it twisted. I'm angry at the fact that I like Henry Cavill. I want him to be more Superman. But like I said to start off with, I fully understand why he's doing this. And I'm with you. He's doing the right thing because, okay, like you said, Batman Beyond comes out. Who the hell is our Batman right now? We don't even know who Batman is. So who's going to be playing Batman? Now you're added even more. Now you got to get an old Batman. And you're adding just a new Batman to the universe when we don't even know who the true Batman is, who's young Batman. We don't know who mid Batman. We got old Batman now. Like, you're just adding too much crap. So I do get that. And I don't think it would have been good. I think it probably would have been trash. So
we would have all been sitting there like
established, like me and you have said many times, the biggest issue is they rushed everything. Yes. So let's get things actually established. So when you do stuff in the future, it not only makes sense, but it's even cooler. So I do get that.
For sure. And that plays into what I wanted to talk about with the Black Adam movie. But just to go back and because a lot of people were calling me James Gunn stan, like a James Gunn stan, for even making a comment about this shit. All right, it's cool. Like, I get a lot of DMs every day, and it's just like, it's whatever. I can brush stuff aside, but I'm sitting there like, I'd be the first one to talk shit about the movie that James Gunn puts out if it's trash. I'd be the first one. I'll be right there with you, saying that it's trash.
Did you sugarcoat the fucking Suicide Squad movies?
Right. And so what I'm saying is like, but if we're gonna look at a track record of what James Gunn has done before we sit here and like, just be like, oh, this dude don't know what the fuck he's doing. All right, he took a ragtag team of D-list Marvel characters and made one of the most beloved movies, period. You can't fucking dispute that. The Guardians of the Galaxy had no business being as good as it was. Nobody fucking, I don't care how many comics you claim to read, nobody fucking knew every one of those goddamn characters that was put on that screen. In volume 1 or volume 2. And then he did it again with fucking Suicide Squad for DC. He took a ragtag team of characters that, again, I don't care how much you read, but you didn't fucking know every one of those goddamn characters.
No, and the only character that was even was Harley.
And then fucking made the villain Starro. That movie had no business being as good as it was. And then did a spin-off of that with Peacemaker. John Cena as actor, that shit had no business being as good as it was.
Yeah, so that legitimately had no business. Like, it's Peacemaker, bro. Seriously, but yes,
like Peacemaker, really, with Eagly and fucking Vigilante, and that shit hit. Oh my god! So it's like, I know that he's not gonna be writing everything, but just as an overall outline, maybe we give him a movie or two before we decide, oh, everything that he's done is trash. And especially, and then, you know, with the Henry Cavill shit, yeah, it's disappointing, yeah, it sucks, but if we like restart everything but keep the same Superman, then it's going to raise questions of like, well, is he not going to be like, is he from the same universe? Is he not from the same universe? Does he remember like the old Batman, the old new Batman, the new old Batman? I don't like, it just gets so confusing where it's like,
because
okay,
it did get a little bit
confusing
in New 52 when you had the newer Superman, and then they quickly brought back Clark Kent, the older Superman version of it. You had young Clark, then you had older Clark, and that kind of got weird. And then I think, and then eventually they like fused together, and that got weird too. So no, yeah, it did get weird, and that would have been weird again.
Yeah. So it's just cleaner. Again, it probably would have made more sense PR wise if you just came in and was like, we're cleaning house, we're starting over, it's fresh slate. Sorry everybody, but that's just how it's going to be, and we're just going to get on track to write a cohesive universe that you guys can follow and move forward. And then that should have been the opening statement. And then instead of just like canceling projects and then trying to like backtrack and be like, oh, this is why we canceled that project, you should have just started it out with, hey, everything's fucking canceled going forward, and you know, look forward. That doesn't mean we can't bring shit back. That doesn't mean we can't take a project that was canceled like Batman Beyond and be like, hey, we're just gonna put it right over here instead, and we'll get to it when we get to it. But I feel like that just would have been a smarter move.
I agree, because I definitely do want Batman Beyond, but I really want us to get the Batman situation situated first. I want us to get the actual normal DC Universe stuff situated, because you got to understand, Batman Beyond needs for the whole story to truly make sense and everything to be right. You need to have the older generation established. You need to have the stuff that happened before what leads up to Batman Beyond to be established and there, so Batman Beyond can build off of that, and that's what they did in the animated series. Right. You had the Justice League. You had things that popped off. Like you had one of the members of the Justice League was the son of Jon Stewart and Hawkgirl, Sierra. So if you're going to do all that, you need to have that stuff established. You can't just throw characters in and say, oh, this is the son of so-and-so or this is the daughter of so-and-so. And it's like, well, who the hell is the father and daughter in the original version? Like there's stuff like it would have made no sense. So it makes like James Gunn is doing the right thing. This is what people complained about, including, again, me and you talked about so long that what messed up the universe at the DCU cinematic universe was they rushed everything. So now that he's trying to establish stuff and make things make sense, you can't get mad and want it both ways. It's fine. We need to reboot. It's okay.
And
we
even
need to get stuff established.
Even if
now,
you were like,
give them time. Let's see how the first couple of movies plan out first before we start getting the pickaxes and the fires and stuff and go burn James Gunn down. Let's see how the first Superman movie come out. Let's see how this works first.
Yeah. And that's all I said too. And I was just like, can we just give a second, like, for just like you said, just give us something, and then we can judge. Don't just judge based off of what's going on paper. Even I don't know, but and then even if you wanted to make a case like, oh, well, they're not doing anything rushing anymore. They're not rushing stuff. Why would you say that? Well, let's just take a look at the Black Adam movie.
Here we go.
Because it recently just hit HBO, and so I was like, oh, Black Adam, I get to watch it for free. Let me just go ahead and put that baby on. And I'm ready to enjoy this movie starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Yeah, I couldn't get through. I maybe made it through about half an hour, and then I turned that shit off. I did not enjoy it. I did not. You want to talk about rushed? If I didn't have some background semblance of who the JSA were, I would have been so fucking lost. Who the fuck are these characters that just came out of nowhere? No explanation. No, what are their powers? No, like, what are their importance? Hey, we're the Justice Society of America. We're here to stop you, Black Adam. All right, cool. here's all the shit that we can do, just kind of thrown at you. And I'd be like, Alexis would definitely have been lost if she was watching the movie. She'd be like, who's this? She'd be stopping me every 30 seconds. Who's this? What does he do? Well, who's that? No, who's that?
Okay.
It's just like, but like they didn't explain anything. They just expected us to be like, oh, just accept the fact that here's the Justice Society of America. Oh, this dude's big now. Oh, okay, all right. What the fuck? Dr. Fate is just possessed by a helmet. Oh, okay. Oh, now we're over here with this. Oh my. Oh no, this is gonna. It's just like chaos on screen. I'm just sitting there like, what in the world is even happening? And then, The Rock expected to get by just by smoldering looks. There's really no dialogue from him that made sense at all the whole time I was watching it. And then, I didn't even make it to where the real villain manifested. I didn't even make it to that point.
Well, again, for me, I enjoyed the movie for what it was, but I do agree with that, and that is a fair, 100% fair thing, because you got to look at it. Especially, let's just look at Dr. Fate. Dr. Fate is essentially the Doctor Strange of the DC universe. He is extremely important. So not having somebody like that legitly explained is a problem. That's like just throwing Dr. Fate into the Avengers out of nowhere without having his, like, Dr. Fate should have had his own standalone movie in the grand scheme of things.
Oh, for sure.
Throw him in there like that. No, I do agree with that. I do agree with that. Like I said in my thing, I enjoyed the movie for what it was, just action and just fighting and all that. And I enjoyed that. And The Rock seemed like he was having a good time with that. So I enjoyed that part of it. But I can't say anything you said is wrong. And I do it. And they did just rush things, just threw it all together. But that is the thing that James Gunn, it looks like outside looking in, is trying to stop. That is the stuff that he's trying to fix and is trying to make things make more sense.
They barely even explained, like, Black Adam himself, and it's his fucking movie. Like, there was a point where I was like, wait, is he black? Like, when they were doing the flashback scenes, and I was like, wait, is he the one who becomes black? No, hold on. Is he the one who becomes black? No, hold on. No, it was him. No, wait, hold on. No, it was him. So I'm sitting there like, they didn't even do a good job explaining the origin of the fucking dude whose name is on the movie.
But here's the thing: that's the problem with them rushing, because if they would have legitly did a legit job explaining things with him, it would have took too long before all the action happened. So they wanted to throw all those people in there, so they just rushed it.
Yep.
Not saying that's a good idea whatsoever. I'm just saying that's what happened. They want to rush that, so they rushed that to throw all these people in this movie and Dr. Fate and everybody in there. But if you want to tell a legit story, you would have had to cut those guys out and actually explain fully what the hell's going on with Black Adam. Right. They didn't want to do that.
Apparently not. Rob says the question is, how much time will Warner Brothers give the Gunn era to develop before they demand results? Their stock has been going down steadily, and even bad Superman and Batman movies are profitable. That is very true. That we even just said that the Superman versus Batman movie hit, like, I think it's in the top 5. Isn't it in the top 5? It hit like 800 million or something silly.
Yeah, it did do well financially. So
yeah. So you are correct there, but as long as he doesn't start like putting out solo movies of unrecognizable characters first, he can do that later. Yeah. But first, we do need to be. What I think you should just be like, let's just kick it off with Matt Reeves' Batman, the Batman movie that came out this year.
I was going to say that too. I was thinking that earlier when we were talking about we start. Yeah, that's one you should keep as part of your original stuff. He should be the one moving forward with that Batman, because that's a perfect way to start kick things off with Batman, that particular Batman in that movie being basically part of Chapter 1.
And then just be exactly. And then just be like, all right, that was the Batman. If we want to do a couple of little, villain spinoffs or something, we can get there. We can work on that. We can get to where we're heading there if that's where we want to head.
Push those back though, and worry about Superman and those guys first.
Superman, a legit good Flash, preferably with a Flash that we're going to have moving forward. But if we wanted to be let's call it what it is, not some nut job.
Let's have an actual somebody who can not,
I guess now they're gonna have to be like, oh, this was Barry, and now we're gonna have Wally, kind of a thing. So maybe I don't know if that's their plan or what they're doing there, but
honestly, they're in an interesting spot because they could just flat out say we're just gonna use Wally now. Yeah. Because remember, that's what Justice League, the animated series, just did. They just instantly threw in Wally, and it was perfect. It was perfect. Yeah. So they could just go with Wally. I would have no issue with that because anyway, again, I love Wally way more than Barry, and Wally is
Wally's
better Flash anyway.
Yeah, Wally's better Flash.
He's faster. Anyway, so. He's the better Flash. I mean, sorry, Barry Allen fans, I'm just being honest.
Rob says the smart play would be for Marvel and DC to make their streaming platforms and theatrical releases more intertwined. If there was a 60-minute TV show giving us the origin of Dr. Fate, that would help. That's actually really smart.
Yeah,
I like that. Because it don't even have to be like a whole thing. Just like a little here's the origin of Dr. Fate. Here's the origin of the, and it don't even have to be that long. 40 minutes, 60 minutes, whatever. Just release it to HBO, release it to Disney Plus, however they're gonna do it moving forward. And that would be sick, actually. I like that a lot.
I like that a lot too.
That's too smart, Rob. Stop that shit. That's ridiculous. You're gonna get shot. You're gonna get shot for that. They're sitting there like, God damn this dude, just ruining everything.
But no, and then we heard what The Rock has said, that Black Adam is not going to be part of Chapter 1, like we mentioned earlier. I mentioned a little while ago. Black Adam's not part of Chapter 1.
Yes. Let's go back to that comment Rob put down. He said, how funny is it to see The Rock tweeting multiple times trying to convince everyone that Black Adam was a financial success? All right, so looking at it like from budget to theatrical bring-in, technically it was a success, but there was a whole thing. I didn't get what they were saying that it wasn't a theatrical success. Because if you put budget against revenue, the revenue was higher. Not a lot higher. Not like, oh my God, that movie did amazing. But it was still higher. But I guess there might have been stuff on the back end, or maybe like marketing took a part of it. I'm not sure. But they were saying
because it's weird because we saw that, and then I also literally read something when I was reading about The Rock stuff, and I was seeing them say, oh, well now it should make even. And I was like, what? So maybe it is talking about merch, like the marketing and all that stuff, and the grand scheme of everything they put in there. And maybe now is gonna make even when everything's said and done, or it's gonna go maybe a little bit over. I'm not for sure, but my issue with this little part here, not necessarily the financial part, but just on this, The Rock is 50 years old. So how long is Chapter 1 going to be? And when are you trying to bring Black Adam into something? Right. The Rock is not young. I'm sorry, guys. The Rock is. I do not think The Rock is going to have like 20 years left in him. I don't think he's going to go that long. Like I don't think his body's going to actually hold up.
Especially with what he's done to his body.
Especially the fact that The Rock, at least being a wrestling fan, there's still talk of The Rock wrestling at WrestleMania 39 or WrestleMania 40. Like that stuff is going to put wear and tear on his body even more.
Right.
He can't get a stunt double for this shit.
No.
And here's the thing people gotta understand: wrestling isn't fake. It's choreographed. You're taking those bumps for real.
Oh,
I got lucky enough to actually take bumps in a real wrestling ring. That shit hurts. It does not feel good when you're getting slammed on that mat. It does not feel good. It fucking hurts. So those guys are taking legit bumps, and there's no stunt doubles. There's no retake. It's live. So The Rock's gonna remember what happened when he went to wrestle last time. He fucked himself up and fucked up Hercules.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this could happen again. So this is a problem. Like when is how long is Chapter 1? when is Black Adam supposed to come back?
And hopefully these are questions that we're going to get answered soon. Rob says in 2022, 2023, why do movie studios spend just as much on advertising a movie as the actual production cost of the movie when YouTube is free? Let me tell you why. Because advertising costs go directly against your revenue on the tax statement. Period. Advertising is like the number one write-off that you can fucking use. And also, not everyone's on YouTube. Not everyone's on YouTube. So when they do these fucking Super Bowl or NFL commercials, NFL debut commercials that cost them hundreds of thousands of dollars for 30 seconds, that shit will add up. And then you see them run these commercials, you see it, and then they want it to be like it's in your mind. So every fucking, hour you're seeing at least one commercial about it. So it's like, oh yeah, I want to see that movie on Friday. Oh yeah, I want to see that movie on Friday. So that like there's that aspect and the fact that they can write all that shit off that just kind of goes hand in hand with that. But if you look on Google, because I just literally just typed in Black Adam budget and then Black Adam box office. So it had a $200 million budget, which doesn't include marketing costs or other costs related to promotion and distribution. And then it earned $400 million worldwide. Okay. So looking at those numbers, it's like, oh, they did all right. Yeah. But apparently, like, I don't know, I guess, again, the budget for advertising or whatever else they said, the promotion and distribution was not or was higher than expected, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, because I don't know. Something's off.
When they put that shit on stream and it was like $20 to fucking stream it at first, and I was like, hell no. There's no way I'm gonna pay more to see it at home than I would to go fucking watch it at the theater. Like, what the fuck? Hell no. Right. So then, when it went to HBO, I was like, all right, I'll watch it now. But nah. So I don't know, man. Like, again, I didn't even fucking finish the movie. It was not my favorite by far. And if we had gone forward with other DC movies that were of the same caliber
of being rushed,
I'd just give up. Honestly, I would just give up. It's like, why bother looking forward to another fucking DC movie when it's just gonna be the same shit? It's like, if I didn't have some idea of who these characters were, I wouldn't know who the fuck was on the screen right now. I'd be like, oh, look, it's the old James Bond. He's wearing a helmet.
It's the old James Bond.
I don't know what to say, bro. Yeah, the Goldeneye music. DC Chapter 1 needs to include Jon Stewart as Green Lantern, which I think they just said that they scrapped the old Green Lantern project and now they're working on a Jon Stewart project, so that could happen. The Justice League cartoon introduced him to a whole generation of kids. He is their Green Lantern, not Hal. I'm with it.
100% with it. Jon Stewart is cooler and everything. They did that perfectly. The Justice League animated series was legitimately perfect in so many ways. Of course, it had its errors and its problems, but they made sure they fixed that stuff. Because, like again, we mentioned it really quickly before. I'm gonna mention this really quick. We talked about it somewhat before, but when the first season came out, Superman was like so many times where he would get like mollywopped by situations that shouldn't happen, and they flat out said Superman was the biggest issue because he's so powerful. They didn't want to use Superman that way, because they was like, honestly, Superman could have solved every issue in the first season by himself. He really could have. But they was like, we wanted it to be more of a team, so we depowered Superman. But they was like, we saw the issue with that, and then you see in later seasons, Superman is what he is. And then they even directly brings that up in like when Superman goes against Darkseid, and Superman's like, the entire time, I got to hold back. I got to make sure I don't go. And like, I got to completely basically hit you guys like a feather. I can't do anything or I would lose control for a second or I would destroy everything and everybody. But when I'm fighting you, I don't have to hold back, do I, big boy? And that's when you see him kicking Darkseid's ass for a period of time. Like, they made sure they fixed that issue moving forward, but they had that issue. but they still made sure they were smart enough, and the episode was still great, and it was still fun stuff to see. And they just knew how to handle it. And again, Jon Stewart, Wally West being the guys was so much better than Barry Allen and Hal Jordan being those guys. And if I'm James Gunn, I'm going with Jon Stewart.
Yeah.
It's not even a question. I'm going with Jon Stewart. It would be such a great thing to do. And let's call it what it is. Out in the original cast, we only had one black person on the team, and that was Cyborg. And he's not part of the, like, if you definitely when you look at the kids, the original Justice League and all that stuff, like he comes in there later on and be a member because he's a Teen Titan to begin with, right? So it's like, let's go with Jon Stewart. Let's go with Jon Stewart. I don't care if you want to keep Cyborg, but let's go with Jon Stewart. Let's have more black people represented, and let's go with Jon Stewart.
Sure, I'm with it. I like Jon Stewart. I like Wally West. I think both of those would be better choices than what we had, and it probably would make sense. Fucking the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern movie wasn't that great, and then this bullshit that's going on with the Flash movie. Who is Barry Allen? Because we know that from the Justice League. Man, and they're like, there's that I don't know if they just can't cancel it or like they just refuse to I really don't know what's going on. They just refuse to cancel this movie, even though all the shit that has happened and James Gunn coming in cleaning slate. So,
do you think for some reason the ending of this Flash movie is basically going to try to be the way they set up their reboot?
Like
similar to how Flashpoint set up the New 52?
That's possible.
Even though obviously we found out later on more and more Dr. Manhattan had a lot of reason to do with that. But still,
right.
Do you think that's going to be kind of what they do maybe?
It's like the only thing that could possibly make sense.
Make any sense? But why this movie goes on?
Flashpoint doesn't even make sense right now.
No, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
We don't like... It's because, again, who's Batman? So, okay, now we're going to bring in another Batman.
Yeah.
Thomas Wayne Batman. And it was just like, all right, so now we got this motherfucker in the mix. It's like, oh my God. Yeah. What are we doing?
Yeah. What are we doing?
So Flashpoint honestly doesn't even make any sense right now because we don't know shit about the Flash.
We don't know shit about any of these guys.
He showed up in Justice League. Oh, hey, I run fast. All right.
Yeah, cool. I can run fast. Woo-hoo-hoo. Like, all what the fuck is it be on? Like, come on, man.
Now here's his most personal issues coming to light that we don't know fuck all about. And we're like, why does he even want to go back in time to begin with? I don't fucking know. I don't know. It's just Barry being Barry, I guess. I don't know. Maybe this is just what the Flash
Barry
does.
Being Barry.
Yeah, good old Barry. You know how he is. Like, it just don't make it like we don't know what his intentions, like what his fucking mindset is. Like we don't know that he was going back to save his mom. We don't know shit about his mom.
Right. Yeah, I know. Like, because that's the whole thing about Russia shit. We don't get the chance to have that true connection with these characters.
Yeah,
because you just kind of rushed them in and everything.
But now we just gonna have a Flashpoint movie? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Right. I'm with
that
you.
That makes sense.
Like, okay.
Yeah. But so is Jason Momoa and fucking Gal Gadot gonna be a part of it? Is this their last time as their roles before they're fired / change roles? Because Jason Momoa is rumored to now be Lobo, but he's gonna do one more fucking thing as Aquaman. Because that's what it is.
I did hear something about him being so. Is Lobo is who they're saying?
That's what they're saying. Because Lobo is like his favorite character or whatever. Like
I did hear him say that. Yeah.
Whatever. He does kind of look like Lobo. I'm not gonna lie. But
okay, but God, you're right. That's so weird.
So either we're not gonna have the Aquaman Wonder Woman part of Flashpoint, which is like, why the fuck are we doing Flashpoint? Or we're going to have the Aquaman Wonder Woman part of Flashpoint, and then it's not going to fucking matter. Or maybe they kill each other, and they just fucking revise it a little bit. They both die.
Well, at the end of the day, if this... And again, we still don't even know fully what this movie is. It's just hinting that it's really Flashpoint. I still don't fully know what this movie legitimately is supposed to really be.
Yeah, I don't either, because the commercial didn't, or the trailer... that we watched, all it relied on was fucking Batman nostalgia, if you remember correctly.
Yeah.
So
and then it was like
it didn't
multiple
have anything to
flashes
do
in
with
that
Flash.
trailer, if I remember right, at the end of it. And it was like, that's really dumb. This is really dumb.
Other than Darkseid, does DC have a huge worldwide threat that a series of movies could build towards the way that Marvel built to Thanos? Yes.
Yeah, they do got a couple of people that.
I mean, I know that Darkseid technically sent Doomsday, right? So I mean that we could have Doomsday before we had Darkseid, which would make
again they can even take a piece from the again we'll continue to bring up the animated series. They can take a piece from that and look at how they formed from the aliens that invaded, and they can kind of go with that aspect too to kind of justify them even becoming a team eventually. So they can do something like that. And there, what else you got?
He says maybe the Flash was going back in time to stop Hitler, but then Kanye tries to stop the Flash and causes the Flashpoint universe.
Woo! Would that be something? Good Lord. Of course, you know, and again, they got people like Anti-Monitor. They got
Crisis.
some people. Yep, they got some big people that they can use.
And Chris, I know you're not forgetting about Condiment King.
They got some big people that they can use.
What about Pencil Man?
What about Kite Man?
Kite Man, baby, dude. Have you watched the Harley Quinn shit?
I have not watched the Harley Quinn
animated shit. Dude, they use Kite Man, and it's so fucking funny, bro. I'm telling you, you would laugh your ass off watching this fucking show, bro. I know you would. I'm telling you. I know you and I both look. You probably like Harley more than me, but you and I both do not like Harley Quinn, and I fucking love this show. Like, it's so fucking funny, dude. I'm telling you, you would laugh a lot. I promise. This is not some bullshit. But yeah,
again, it's like I've read again, I'm a giant fan of the Batman universe, so I've read a bunch of Harley Quinn standalones, probably damn near all of her stuff, all her tie-ins with all that shit. So I know a shitload about her. But you're right. I just feel that she's just overhyped and overrated.
She's overhyped and she's annoying.
Overhyped. My biggest issue is the Harley fans. It's not even. It's Harley fans who just like, no matter what she does, it's okay. She could be like, she could put a bomb in Lois. It's okay. You know, Lois can die and everybody, all of Metropolis blows up. No, it's fine. No, Harley can be a hero again. No, it's cool. No, Harley did nothing wrong. It's Joker. Like, I think her fan base is delusional. It's delusional. But no,
I think part of what makes the show good is that like she does own up to some of her shit, and she's like, you know what, I need to, you know, whenever some stuff goes down, or she's like being a shitty friend to whoever, she's like, she does realize it, and like there is resolution there. So, but I'm telling you, dude, like the other shit that goes on, Bane is so fucking funny. Clayface is absolutely hilarious. The fact that they use Kite Man is just fucking, oh my god, it's so funny. But I really think you would enjoy that show. I don't even know where we're going with that, but
yeah, but we was mainly yeah, but, we did. But no, there are people that they can use to go in there. But the key thing is,
that's right.
What they need to just worry about is somebody like Darkseid, and just worry about building that up first, and then you can go into the other people. They just need to focus right now on whatever chapter 1 is supposed to truly be. Make sure that stuff is established, how long that's supposed to be, what's chapter 2. Worry about chapter 1. Get that stuff established, get that stuff fixed up, have a goal for that, and then you start worrying about the other people afterwards. Just make sure this stuff is handled first. And Darkseid don't even have to be the main big bad of chapter 1. There are other people they can use, but if he is going to be that, then just focus on that. Just focus on that.
I mean, like, we joke about, you know, who could really cause a worldwide threat, blah, blah, blah. When Lex Luthor has been clowning Superman for 80 fucking years and he don't have any superpowers.
Lex Luthor is like Doctor Doom in a lot of ways, in the sense of Doctor Doom can be the main villain of anything, and it can make perfect sense because Doctor Doom has done some crazy shit in the comics, and he's credible. He's very credible where he can do that, and Lex Luthor has done some crazy shit too, and he's extremely credible. So you can do that. Yeah, Lex Luthor could be the perfect first part of Chapter 1, the big bad. That could be
not
fine.
Jesse Eisenberg, Lex Luthor with long.
Was he the one from Smallville?
Fucking no, the dude from
no, he was the one from the original one. Okay, yeah, I got you. Okay,
with the long hair and like the awkward shit.
Yeah.
This is where he was popping. He had that fucking magician movie, and then he was in the Zuckerberg movie. And they're like, well, fuck, he's on a roll. Let's just throw him as Lex Luthor.
In his Justice League.
But you know what? Hold on. I got an idea. He's not bald. Fucking has shoulder-length hair. What? What? The most iconic fucking Superman villain of all time?
Yeah.
Oh, and we're just going, he's just going to have some hair. You know what? Jesse Eisenberg don't really feel like wearing a ball cap. Oh, no problem. We'll just have long hair Lex Luthor. It's all good. It's fine. No one will notice. And probably, I bet you nobody will talk about it going forward. Guarantee it.
It's all good. Genius. But no, I'm with you, man. Like, yeah. So there's tons of stuff they can do. They just need to freaking stay focused. And I'm hoping and believing that this is what James Gunn is trying to do. Keep everything focused and just get this stuff built the way it needs to be built.
Absolutely.
And then I'll be good.
We can have a brief Marvel discussion as well. I think they released the poster for Across the Spider-Verse. Is that what the second one is called? I think it's called Across the Spider-Verse. And the main talking points of the poster was the fact that Ben Reilly, Scarlet Spider, is on the poster.
Okay.
Whether this means anything crazy, I don't know if he's going to have a big part in the movie or a cameo or what, but he is on the poster. And so, the fear of missing out, people are just like, oh my God, Ben Reilly, you're going to go buy this comic. And so I just had to throw it out there that, don't go crazy. Don't, spend too much money acquiring Ben Reilly. Fucking Scarlet Spider. I know he's cool. I know he's a dope Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But he's cool.
Yeah.
But this could just be like a little nothing. Like it could be nothing.
Because I mean, let's just call it. Honestly, it would be shocking if he wasn't in the movie. Because they're just pulling Spider-Mans, and he is a
everyone else in there.
Why the hell wouldn't you pull him?
Right. Yeah. I'm kind of with you on that one.
And
it looks like they're just going to have every Spider-Man.
Right. He's not going to like he's not going to be like, I'm going to just call it, he ain't going to be that important. Like, I would be beyond shocked if Ben Reilly's the reason why the day is saved. Yeah, that's probably not going to happen.
Exactly. I mean, he's going to have just...
I would be more on the line. He's probably going to die in the movie. Like, a lot of that usually happens to him. So, I mean...
It's true.
Yeah, but it's going to be cool. He's going to do cool stuff. They're all going to do cool stuff. But I would assume that Miles Morales and probably even Spider-Gwen would be the two most important people. I mean, hell, I want Miguel O'Harris to be the most important person, but I'm pretty sure he's not going to be.
I was going to say he's probably going to be like the third.
Yeah, I would think he'll be
probably
like
going to be like Miles,
but...
Spider-Gwen, Miguel.
Yeah.
And then like from there,
Peter.
The best you can hope for, honestly, out of Ben Reilly is as important of a role as Spider-Man Noir.
Right. Yeah.
Like a couple of lines here and there, maybe a joke. You see him punch somebody. That's about it.
Probably.
So I don't know, but I just had to throw that out there because there was a poster release. So, but I think that's really all the Marvel news that we got. I don't think we got anything else crazy from Marvel this week.
No, I don't think Marvel's. No, I don't think it's really anything crazy. Cause I know, because hell yeah, you're even rereading Flashpoint right now, so that's DC.
I am, rereading Flashpoint.
I just finished rereading the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, so you just told me I had to read that one. So
yeah, you should get it. You should look into that because that's a fun Spider-Man story. Definitely, if you like Superior Spider-Man in general and all the shenanigans that go on there.
Superior Spider-Man,
and I know you do.
yeah. I
mean, you like pretty much all the Spider-Mans, really, right? There's not many you don't like. So
I mean, yeah, honestly, but Superior Spider-Man was one of my favorite series. Honestly.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So he plays a big role, obviously. So yeah, it's good. That's a good story. I enjoyed that story. Like I said, it does get rushed at the end because of everything that's going on in the time frame when it was made. But it's solid. It's a good story. It's a good story. Yeah. So yeah, I don't think there's anything crazy going on, Marvel.
Comic book wise, I know there was like a small little ripple because Aftershock Comics filed for bankruptcy. So Aftershock Comics, which let's see what they're notable. Because I honestly, when I heard it, I was just like, "Oh, okay," but I couldn't really name off the top of my head any of their titles.
Okay, so what we got?
Let's see. Aftershock Comics titles. So recently, All My Little Demons, Horde, The Replacer, Shock Volume 2, Out of the Blue, Witch Hammer. Yeah. I don't know too much about Aftershock Comics. I don't read a whole ton of indie comics, to be honest with you. I read them here and there if they're creating a buzz, and usually I'm disappointed by them.
Yeah.
Let's just, like Something's Killing the Children, which made this huge fucking ripple. And the first book was going for like, no joke, like $1,000 at a CGC 9.8, which is absolutely insane. Yeah, it was fucking stupid. And I read like the first couple of issues, and I was like, why?
This shit trash.
Like, do you know what you're paying for? Like, it just does. Like, it made no. Like, I guess maybe it got better down the line. But I was like, no. Gideon Falls was a good one. I will say Gideon Falls was a good one. That was from Jeff Lemire, and that went to Image. And then there was another one that everyone was going. Oh, Ice Cream Man! Everyone was going crazy for Ice Cream Man, which was like this weird. Every issue was a different story, but the Ice Cream Man, this like demonic looking dude who had like whatever, he just posed as Ice Cream Man. So he would show up in every issue. And I read the first.
Ice Cream Man is such a lame fucking name, though. I'm sorry.
Yes, that book, the first issue, still sells for over $100 raw. Like just a fucking, just to get the first issue is $100. And I will tell you that I read the first trade while waiting for a flight because Justin gave me a trade and he was like, "Here, read it." And there's like, it takes like 30 seconds to read an issue. I'm not even fronting. I'm not exaggerating. There's like no dialogue and no like heavy, or it just doesn't take long to read. Like the little bit of dialogue or like background that there is, it's just like, okay, that's cool, whatever. But the issue's done before you even know it, and it's like, all right. I was not impressed at all. I read 6 issues in like 10 minutes, dude, and I'm sitting there like, this is what people are freaking out about. This is like so. For the most part, those indie comics that people like go crazy about, they're not worth shit. Like, just pay attention to what, like, maybe read the online first before you're like, oh yeah, that was good. I should buy the first copy. No, you shouldn't, because you're gonna finish it in like 5 seconds and be like, that was trash.
Y'all better listen to this man telling y'all facts, bro. Y'all better.
I'm just saying, and I think that was another thing that I know it's more of a modern comic issue. Where like there's not as much people like action and not so much wordiness in their comic books these days, which is fine, but you still need to convey the story. And so, like, even when you had me read some of the newer Batman issues, and I'm like, I read it in like a minute or so, and I'm just like, that was like, there was nothing that happened.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, it was just, I don't know. There was just no background. There was no like mystery or anything like that. It was just like, boom, boom, chop, chop. Oh, I can't believe you did that. Boom, boom, chop, chop. And then like the issue was over. So that's basically
Some
what
of
we
the
were dealing
storytelling
with.
is gone from the elements nowadays.
Right.
And that's just kind of
Exactly.
like in what's so funny. It's also another connection with professional wrestling. Like when you look at, well, just like AEW, for instance, one of the biggest issues with AEW is that the storytelling is basically gone. And what they rely on is spots. Spot, 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 spot. Match is over. Like, where's the storytelling? Like, for instance, a guy like, perfect example. When The Undertaker used to come out and Jim Ross was in WWE and Taker's taking his time walking, you had time to get the story going. JR would talk about why Undertaker's fighting this person, what's going on. When you're in the ring and they do their first lockup, you can tell the story of why this is happening, what's going on, what led to this feud, what led to this and that, and you can build a good story around. But in AEW, there's so much just spot. Jump out the ring, jump, do this, do that. And there's no damn storytelling at all. And then it's like pointless feuds in the grand scheme of things because it's just stuff that just happens and it's on to the next. But it's like, but why did any of this need to happen anyway? So it's shit like that. So that's that. Yeah, I fully understand that shit at all.
Yeah. So again, exactly like what you're saying. Rob says, I was counting on Spider-Man India being in the new movie. Screw this Spider-Punk character. Oh yeah, there's some buzz about Spider-Punk as well. I also recently acquired a Spider-Man India #1 just because that book, if you have a Spider-Man India, Rob, hang on to it. It's very low print. It's not some of this other overprinted garbage like Spider-Man 2099 #1. Not that I don't like Miguel, but that had a crazy high print run in comparison. So just hang on to your Spider-Man India would be my advice. As far as Spider-Punk goes, I don't think that he had a huge. He came out in Spider-Geddon, I want to say.
He's in Spider-Verse as well. Definitely Spider-Man India. They play some interesting roles.
Was Spider-Punk in Spider-Verse?
He is.
Okay. So maybe he came out in Spider-Verse. I don't remember what his first appearance is, but I will say that it's probably a little bit higher printed. Not super higher printed, but like it's probably a little higher than Spider-Man India for sure. But I don't know about like 2099 levels of high print because that was just 90s gimmick. What can we do to sell comic books? Oh, put them 100 years in the future type of shit. And then add foil covers for the #1. It's genius. That's brilliant. So that's just my advice on there. But I have one tucked away in my personal collection, and I don't have a Miguel right now in my personal collection. So that if that tells you anything.
And then my little tiny 2 cent on the indie stuff, I just don't have time to read that. From me reading the stuff with Marvel or X-Men and then anything else that's going on with then DC, Batman, Wonder Woman, all this, Superman, all this crap that goes on there, and then my manga and shit, because like right now I'm currently rereading Yu Yu Hakusho, and I'm also watching Yu Yu Hakusho again on my free time. Like, I just don't have time to read the indie stuff. I just don't. I really don't.
I don't have time to try one out.
The few times I've had, I'm with you. My experience have been like, man, this sucks. I see why. No offense to you, and I know you work really hard on this. So I'm not saying that, but I do see why you're an indie writer. Like, you're not part of the big boys. I can see why. Like, it just bores me. I'm like, this sucks.
So and then even that part, it's like some of these writers are fucking like the guys. So like what I was saying with Gideon Falls is going to be one of those. I'm like that I stay true with. That's really good. That's the exception. It's not the rule. So Gideon Falls was written by Jeff Lemire, who has done big work at both Marvel and DC. The Something is Killing the Children. I can't remember who the fuck wrote that. Oh, that one's actually written by James Tynion, who did a Batman run or is currently doing Batman right now too. So again, some of these are like not small writers, but the story, like, it just doesn't make sense why the indie book got so big. But I'm just like you. I don't have time to just like try. Let me try out one of these new indie books when there's however many that come out every month to begin with.
Right.
I need to know. I need to hear that it's good, and then I'll give it a shot. And then most of the time, the shot, I'm like, it's not good. Like this is like I don't know if influencers or whatever you want to call it are just talking it up to try to raise the price, or like what the hype is about. But it's not there for me personally. Rob says so much false hype gets placed on these indie books when the material gets picked up by TV studios, but nobody considers that less than 10% of things that get picked up by studios really get developed. That's a great point as well.
Yeah,
just because something is optioned doesn't mean it's actually going to come out to fruition. Still got to go through the pilot stage, still got to get approved, get the good ratings, blah, 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 and then it gets pushed and approved budget-wise to continue from there. That's why a lot of like these streaming services have really come, like, at least that's how it used to be. So these streaming services have like facilitated like being able to do a whole season, and then we'll see how it does, and then we'll go from there. But that, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because sometimes where it's like, oh, this pilot of this famous TV show was almost canceled on the pilot, and thank God that it wasn't. You know what I mean? But then sometimes it's like, oh, we got this whole season of this trash ass TV show that probably could have been scrapped at the pilot. You know what I mean? So it's a double-edged sword. It could go either way. But I will agree that people do try to hype stuff for when there's a rumor of a TV show. Because I think Something Is Killing the Children got optioned, or like maybe they are still doing a TV show for it. I don't know. But it's like, why are you going to pick that one though? It just doesn't make any sense. I think even Ice Cream Man was another one that got optioned or something, and that's why that one blew up as well. But I'm sitting there like, yeah, the concept is cool, but it was just executed so poorly. Where it's like you could have had this cool demonic character show up in these weird fucking stories, but like you just told a story about, like, one of them was a fucking like a drug addict story. I was just sitting there like, this is not interesting. Like,
it's not like we don't have 1,000 of those. Not saying you can't make it interesting, but still, you got to make sure you work to make it interesting.
Right. It's just like a junkie down on his luck type of shit, and then like he stumbles across the Ice Cream Man, and I'm just like, oh my, like, this shit is just not original.
Right.
This is not good. And top that off with the fact that I read the story in a minute. And it's just like, bro, it's just not
enough time to really get things going. Not enough time to make things interesting. It's just like that. Okay, like you said. Okay, that just happened. Cool.
Yeah.
Let me go read something that's actually interesting.
Like, I was excited for it. Justin gave me the book. He's like, here you go. Here's the first trade. Read it while you wait for your plane or whatever. Okay, 10 minutes later. All right, well, now I need something else to do for this plane.
Like, damn it.
I got to do security hella fast. Like, I'm just sitting here waiting for this fucking boarding call. Like, golly.
Right. Like, all right, Daddy's in.
But all right, enough of my griping. I think we could call it for the evening. We appreciate you hanging out with us. Hit that like button, smash it,
mash it, and hit it with your head, hit it with your toes, hit it with your left butt cheek.
When you hit it with your toes, snap a pic real quick, and then we can upload that to the internet, and we can sell your feet pics. So,
There's a lot of feet lovers.
We'll be back next Tuesday. Merry Christmas for everybody.
Merry Christmas indeed to all of you. Yes, Merry Christmas.
Yeah. And if you're Jewish,
and don't worry, Black Santa knows all who's been naughty and nice, and he will be showing up. Maybe a couple days after Christmas, though. You know how that goes. But still, I'll be over there. You'll get some.
It's like, Christmas is like Hanukkah for Black Santa. You got a couple of days to figure out your presents and shit. You know what I mean? You got a few days. Exactly. Yeah, just keep burning that candle down. You'll be all right. But we appreciate you hanging out with us. We'll see you next Tuesday after Christmas. We'll be here chilling at 9 p.m. as usual. As always, stay villainous and
fuck the